How's everybody doing? Good in the world? Great. Fabulous. We started a series last week about trying to take a step in our understanding of who we are and how our light can affect humanity, how we can take our space in the world. And Patrick did a great job laying a foundation for holding the light no matter what's going on around us. So today we're talking about growth. And you know the world is growing. It's crazy growing. Everything is changing so very fast. The world as it changes is actually a reflection of our group consciousness. So we are all experiencing something that is asking us to rise above our limitations and to move into a new space. And we do that personally. We don't measure our growth based on what's happening in the world. We measure it from our world, what's happening within us. So sometimes we have experiences that expand our abilities to receive. Sometimes we have experiences that show us our limitations and the growth we need to achieve through that. So limitations, when we experience them, we actually view them as challenges, don't we? This is difficult. When we are asked to expand to receive greater, we view those as opportunities, don't we? Sometimes we're afraid of our opportunities too, aren't we? Ooh, I have to do a solo? What? I don't think so, But both challenges and opportunities give us the growth that we need. So I want to break it down a little bit. Both experiences are a result of your desires to grow. In your world, as we grow, we affect the whole, the microcosm and the macrocosm and the microcosm and macrocosm. So growth can be created through timing. Think of the little child. The little child is growing, growing, growing. A little child goes through first grade, and what do they do when they're done with first grade? Then they go, I'm cooked, y'all. I'm going to lay back and chill the rest of my life. No, they go, next. I want my next experience. And they're taught to do that throughout the schooling process. Next. At some point, though, some of us sit back and go, okay, I'm ready to chill. I like my plateau. Don't ask me to step off of that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. We want to also realize that if there is a timing thing of your soul journey, the universe is going to kick you off your plateau. It's going to boot you out until you're saying next, until you're saying, show me what the next thing is that I need to achieve. And you've experienced that, haven't you? And if you resist it, you have the proverbial 2x4, the universal 2x4 that smacks you upside the head and says, no, we're moving now, right? So growth, is that a fun way to grow? Not necessarily. We would call that a challenging way. So we want to be like the little kid. We want to know that every day can bring us the next. Every year can bring us the next. Does everybody understand that concept? And if you don't, think about working at your same job for 40 years and getting the same amount of money. Would you be saying next? Level me up, please. Yeah, we all want that next thing. All right. We will never lose our ability to say next. We just put it on hold. So growth can be created through a desire to interact differently, which is a part of this. It's your soul journey. You pick something when you came down, you've got a timetable you want to accomplish. So sometimes your soul journey kicks you into growth and expansion. But one of the most important things is the love aspect, the aspect of you that you're desiring to do greater. You're desiring to experience something new and different. And that puts you into that growth. So Spirit said this, the universe brings you only what you resonate with. You realize that. So if you're having a challenge, something in that challenge you resonate with, there's a vibration within you that's complementary to it. Somehow you're resonating with the challenge. So when we are leveling up, as it were, or asking for something greater, we will always draw something to us that somehow is right for us to learn. So they gave us this example. All right. What if you had asked the universe, God, Creator, to help you expand in romantic love? Maybe you're single and you want a partner. Let's use that example, okay? All right. What if you all of a sudden had an issue with your neighbor and they were exerting power over your property? And now you're fighting with your neighbor. And you're saying, why is this happening? Why am I fighting with my neighbor? We got along before, and now we're in conflict, and things are not working well, and that bad neighbor, you hear me? What if the universe is teaching you how to learn to have adjoining powers cooperate in harmonious, complementary fashion? Do you think you need to learn that before you bring in a partner? You might need to learn that before you bring in a partner, because they are not going to do what you want them to do. I don't care who it is. They're going to have their own thoughts, their own beliefs, their own energy. But do you see how you called that forth by asking for a romantic partner? Yet you didn't want that, did you? You didn't want to fight with your neighbor. But when you come to harmony with it, now you're at the level of taking the next step. Now I can actually coexist with an adjoining partner, both of us powerful, both of us having our say, and both of us working in cooperation. Isn't that the basis of a healthy relationship? See how easy it is? And you see how, as you're changing, you can actually call forth these challenges that help you grow. Okay? I know you guys have experienced this. Everybody's looking at me like, nah. But yeah. We all experience it. We all experience things that come at us out of the blue, and we go, what the heck is going on here? I wanted something else, God. Did you not read my want list? God, I put this out. I want this, and I'm having this. Ask yourself, what within me is resonating here? And how is that going to take me here? There's always going to be association. All right. So, opportunity or challenge. We view the neighbor as a challenge, but really as an opportunity, isn't it? So when it's easy, it is already within us as a familiar flow. When it is hard, it is asking us to do something within to change. When growth is easy, it's already a familiar path. I've done that at a smaller scale. I can do it at a bigger scale. If it's hard, it's like, I have not done that. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I can. You have to almost rally to handle the challenges. Do you see the differences in your flow? Opportunities give energy in a new expanded way. I can show up brighter, lighter. Challenges give energy in an unfamiliar way that requires you to change your mindset. An opportunity is within your mindset, and a challenge is outside of your mindset. So, I wanted to share with you the story of the Good Samaritan. Has everybody heard it? Have y'all heard it? Anybody not heard it? True. Anybody not heard it? Okay, I'm going to paraphrase it for you. Jesus is talking to a group of people, and he is saying to them, they're Israelites, right? Because he was teaching in his community. And he's saying to them a story, and because someone said, who is my neighbor? And Jesus says, okay, there was a man, an Israelite, who was walking to Jerusalem, and he was beaten up. His clothes were taken. Clothes tell you your identity, what you're wearing. They know who you are by your clothes. His clothes were taken. He was beaten badly. He was bleeding, and he was left for dead. So he's talking to all these people, right? And he said, and then a priest walked by. The priest looked at him and walked on. And the audience would have gone, of course he did. And then Jesus said, and a Levite walked by. And the Levite looked at him and said, and walked on. And the audience would have said, of course he did. Because it is against the law for a priest or a Levite to touch blood or a dead body. So the audience would have gone, yeah, and your point, Jesus gets the point. We know that happened. Do you see the mindset? They did not expect humanity to the man from these two offices because there was an expectation about the office. Okay? And then, of course, the Samaritan, who the Jews did not like, they did not like them at all. Does anybody remember why they don't like them? Doesn't really matter, but they didn't like them. What happened was there was captivity. Some of the Israelis were left in the northern part, and they intermarried with the Assyrians, which was horrifying to the Jews that they intermarried with the Assyrians, and they became the Samaritans. So they still had the basic same faith, but they intermingled. Oh, no, that was not possible. So there was very much, no, they did not like each other. So as Jesus is telling the story, of course the Levite didn't stop, and of course the priest didn't stop, but then a Samaritan, and the whole audience would have gone, ugh. Samaritan stopped and helped. And the audience would have gone, what? And the Samaritan became the hero of the story. He helped the man. In telling the story, Jesus hit the mindset on all levels of the people. You cannot love your, because the question was, who is my neighbor? And he said, who was the neighbor here, people? They couldn't help but say it was the Samaritan. And that was against their mindset, and the priest is against their mindset. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything he said was breaking the mindset within them. And he was trying to teach them that love should overshadow these expectations. So I'm taking you here for a reason. The mindset of us actually affects how we grow. Remember, to be challenged is to be outside your mindset. To be opportunityed is within your mindset. You hear what I'm saying? All right. So we all know about the Texas flood. We did a prayer last week for them, and every time I saw a little baby face, I just cried and sent love to their mom and dad and their little spirit and everything. But I caught a little teeny article. This is what I want you to hear. A little teeny article about someone that this person said, I was at the space where they were offering aid. And there was a guy opening boxes, just a regular guy opening boxes. And then I realized who he was. He was a famous rich guy, just opening boxes like a regular Joe. And so this person went to him and said, why are you here? And the famous rich guy said, I'm here because I am a neighbor and I am a dad. And it was so beautiful that it was like, I am just here because I am. And the article, and when you read the article, we would give him extra love because we love him, he's rich and famous. And he doesn't have to be there. Can you hear, if you knew, I have no expectation for rich and famous people to be there. But if I gave you the list of all the people that were there, Sam and Joanne and Arnold, who were helping the regular people that were helping, in our mindset, what would we say? Well, of course they are. We expect the regular people to be there. We expect humanity from our regular people, but we don't expect it from other classes of people. Yeah? Had y'all heard this story? Yeah. So, and maybe you want me to say the name, and I'm not going to. Because you would give them extra love. And what about all the other regular people that were there? We should give them all love, because they're all standing forth to help humanity. But even in our reality, we classify people with these mindsets. So, you guys with me so far? All right. We'll swing back to that in a minute. When I was starting my formal training in metaphysics a long time ago, there were two camps. One was the absolutist camp of metaphysics, and the other was the humanistic camp of metaphysics. And I was originally taught, my original teacher was an absolutist. An absolutist is someone that says, you're a child of God, you are divine, you have all the power in the universe. Do you hear what I'm saying? Humanistic deals more with how am I doing? How are you doing? So in the humanistic viewing point, it was I am spirit having a human experience. Y'all have heard that a lot. I am spirit having a human experience. And the absolutist viewpoint it is I am spirit expressing God in this realm. Do you see the difference? I am spirit expressing God in this realm. Now that's where I cut my teeth, on that level. And that's a beautiful level to say, oh, you're a child of God. Oh, you must have created that for some reason. You've got the tools to heal that. Do you hear what I'm saying? Absolute. You're a child of God. You can do that. That worked great in my younger years until the emotional body kicks in. And the emotional body says, all right, how about this problem? I'm going to show you how human you are. And then we have to deal with our wants and our desires. And it's like, I don't feel quite divine right now because my human body wants this experience or that experience. And then we get into the humanistic parapsychology. We get into the humanistic metaphysics. I am having a human experience and I need to learn how to have it divinely. Do you see? So there are moments when we can be absolute purist. You're God, you'll make it through. And there are moments when we have to really deal with honoring that the reality of my journey here is multifaceted. And sometimes, yes, I want my human experience to be fabulous. I don't want to skip that part of it. I have a beautiful emotional body. I want to enjoy it. Does that make sense? Is that clear enough for y'all? Okay. Both work beautifully. When you're in the healing world and we're doing healing work with people, we have to have the humanistic. We have to be able to go into their stuff, see what they're hurting, see what's happening with them, help them lift up, help them find God in it, help them tether their energy to the divine, right? Healers, you know you have to do this. You can't walk into someone that's hurting and say, you know what? Suck it up. You are the Christ, and you better knock it up. No, you don't have to knock it off. You're the Christ. Be it. Just be it. And that's great, if you can. But do you see how you really can't reach the human part with that? So there's two mindsets. And I know you've met the absolute mindset when you're hurting and you go, do not talk to me. And you've met the humanistic mindset when they're feeling less empowered. And you want to just grab them and lift them up and empower them. We have to be mindful of how we are actually living in our metaphysical principles. Being aware of both aspects and being aware that God is in all. Is that helpful? Okay. Absolute metaphysics. I love it. I am expressing God as I walk. So opportunities give us that beautiful energy in a new way, to express ourselves in a new way. And it challenges, they show us our limitations, show us what we need to change within ourselves. So, Dave, can you hand me the Bible, please? This is a quick little quote that I love, you know, when you first go through the Bible trainings. This is one that you kind of hold on to that's really beautiful. This is Romans 12:2, and most of you may have heard it, but I'll read it for you again. Do not imitate the way of this world. Don't imitate what you see. Be transformed by the renewing of your minds, that you may discern what, excuse me, my human eyes are receiving some help now. Do not imitate the way of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, that you may discern what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Don't imitate the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, that you can understand, see, and discern the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Open your mind so you are not creating mindsets that are reflective of this reality, the world around you. Open your mind so that you can begin to actually understand the love of God moving through you and everyone around you. Open your mind to see the will of God. And we know the will of God is love, peace, all the good stuff. It is not anything that limits or makes you less than. That is not God's will. God's will is love, expanded peace, joy. Go on and on and on. So by the renewing of your mind, you open up to the consciousness of God's consciousness, actually. Thanks, Dave. All right. As we expand our consciousness, we allow others to have the right to theirs. So let's swing back to us in the world. Y'all, you know the truth. If you want to live in a prosperous world, you have to be prosperous in your world. If you want to live in a loving world, you have to be loving in your world. You have to have the consciousness. And you can be prosperous making little bit or big bit. It doesn't really matter. It's the consciousness of the flow. I'm in the flow of the universal good. I am prosperous. I'm in the flow. Do you see? If you want to, anything in the world, if we want to change the world, we have to live the change in our world. I always tell everybody, if you want a government that works for you, govern yourselves. Govern yourselves. Make sure you know what's going on. Make sure you know where you are. Make sure you know all your laws that you live by. Govern your life. Don't let anybody govern you. Just take charge of you. Make sure that if you're going to go do that thing, you're doing it because I want to. I'm doing it consciously. I'm consciously creating chaos because I want to. I'm consciously reining myself in because I want to. It's your choice. We have to govern ourselves individually. And how I govern is not going to be how you govern. Hear me? Okay. So as we become and live the mindset of us, the mindset of who we are, let me pause there. You guys, when I talk about the rich and famous guy, you go, I understand that. And when I talk about other people, the priest, I understand that. How about the mindset you have about yourself? Do you ever look at that? We have that about ourselves. We see ourselves in boxes, and we can do this or not that. We can do this or not that. I can't play the piano. But wait a minute. If I learned I could. I could. I certainly could. I don't now. Do you hear the mindset of the limitation? We levy so many mindsets against our own beingness that make us limited and keep us from expressing the beauty of who we are. But in order to do that, we have to let everybody have their own as well. Like, I'm going to believe this about me, and if you want to believe that about you, great. I am not going to come over knocking on your door and saying, hey, knock it off. You need to do what I need you to do. I'm going to harmonize with you. I'm going to love you. And I'm going to govern my own world. Does that make sense? And when we take the limitations off of us, when we take them off of us and take that mindset of what the world taught us off of us, we are able then to succeed in our world at what we want to do. Y'all got that? And I was told 1,000,000 times when I was a little girl, you can't be a minister because you're a girl. They didn't have girl ministers back in the day. This is 100 years ago. And you're not allowed. My mom said, I'd say, Mom. She'd go, well, honey, that's just not how it is in our world. I even shared with someone, I told God, I'll marry a minister, God. Please, I'll marry one. I'll just be quiet and sit there and do whatever you need me to do. God said, be quiet. And then the door opened, and then it was created. And now I am happy doing what I need to do. I'm happy doing what I need to do right here, right now, in this moment. My mind could not comprehend the mindset of limitation. I just couldn't comprehend it. Other concepts I could comprehend. Other concepts of limitation I've had to move through, just like we all do. But what are we thinking about ourselves? And how do we hold that frequency and still allow others to have theirs? So there was one little story I wanted to share with you guys. It was 1995. We were in Egypt, and it was January, so there weren't very many tourists. And so 1995, right? So that's a ways back. And we just had breakfast, and we just stepped out of the hotel, and there was nobody on the street, because we were in a little town, and there weren't any tourists out. We were a little town, and we were on our little tour, and the guide was there, and we loved our guide. He was fabulous. So we stepped out of the hotel, and there was a little fellow across the street who had the cart and the horse, right? Well, he crashed. And his cart fell over, and his horse fell over, and he fell over. And I'm fast. I was immediately in motion. And my guide was immediately in motion, grabbed my arm. And he said, no, do not. And I went, but I want to help him. He goes, you cannot. I didn't realize that in Muslim culture, at that day and time, for an American woman to walk over and touch him would not have been good. And our guide knew who we were. And I went, okay, I can do that, but I'm going to send Reiki from here. So I stood on the side of the street and I sent that man Reiki and love and healing energy and his donkey. So my whole point is you can still be you, even if the prevailing mindset doesn't accept you're expressing it in their world. And I was in his world. Hear me, I was not in my world. I was on their turf, in their world. That was their reality, and I needed to honor it. But I could still be who I am. Spirit said the mindset of the culture said no, but my love said yes. So we can learn to craft who we are and then take that wherever we need to go without hurting, but yet we are influencing, aren't we? We're bringing love. We're making it lighter. We're loving our fellow man. We're influencing, and they feel better because we walk that street with them. But we did not command that they change. We govern our minds. We let the renewing of our mind connect us to our own divinity. Mindsets. Every one of us is either right now in the throes of a challenge or opportunity, or we will be soon, because that's just the way the world works. As it comes up, always ask yourself, especially if you view it as a challenge. Okay, this is a challenge. Okay, ask yourself, number one, what am I going to learn here? Because there's got to be something in there for me. Number two, how did I call this forth? Maybe I was calling something else, and maybe it's connected over here. Okay, all right. Never ask anyone to bail you out of your challenges. They can't. They'll come back again. Don't ask for help. Ask for help in here. Change you. Help me. Change me. You know? People may volunteer to help. That's different. That means they're part of it. Come on. But don't expect your challenges to be healed by others. Go in and see, what do I need to change within me? Because my energy is seeking to express in a way that has met a limitation. That limitation is within me. Let me see what it is. Once it flows, the opportunity normally follows to share my light in a new, fabulous way that is now easy for me. Once you've danced with the challenge, it becomes familiar, doesn't it? The vibration. Now you can really express through the opportunity. And we heal the world. Ta-da! Bottom line. Isn't that great? We get to heal the world. But that's not our purpose. Our purpose is to heal us. All right. Ready to go within? All right, let's put our feet on the floor. Take a breath. God, we love you so much, and I ask that your infinite love just pour into this space. I welcome the angels standing with us, and that there is only love and light. And I ask each one of you just to begin to imagine you can sense or feel a column of light coming over you. Feel the love of God surrounding you. And just welcome the presence of Jesus Christ as he steps forward just to take your hand. Feel the immense total love he has for you. The personal love he has for you. For every struggle, for every beautiful, joyful moment. Beautiful love. And imagine you can just take him by the hand and lift up just a little bit. And just imagine you're just stepping into a beautiful garden. The garden of your space, your heart. Renewing of your mind. Ask to see yourself clearly. Ask to see all the beautiful potential within you. And I want you to breathe in that which is yours to do next. What is my next? Breathe in your next. I breathe in my next. I willingly open to my next opportunity. And if it comes with a little challenge, I willingly receive the healing. Feel a sense of expanded freedom. Feel the love of God flowing to you and through you. And feel Jesus' hand in yours. And feel that He will be by your side the whole way. There's nothing to fear. Father, Mother God, we love you so much. We just let that love permeate all that we are. And I would invite you all just to step back into the little column of light. Let yourself come back into the awareness of this room, your feet on the floor, the love all around you. I am ready to see with the eyes of God. I'm ready to see with the eyes of love. And take a breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Did your next come forward? Mine did. Homework this week. Obviously, love yourself. Number 1, take your love out into the world. And if you catch yourself thinking anything limiting, listen to that. If you if you catch yourself thinking any limitation about yourself, stop. What is the truth of me? What is the truth of me? Who am I? Okay. Be the absolutist at that moment. I'm child of God expressing on the planet. And then be the humanistic and say, and I'm going to love myself every moment as I do it. Say, yay, God.